So good afternoon to all of you. Unfortunately, I cannot use words in Bulgarian. I'm really sorry. So I'll try to use my best possible English. You know that I'm Portuguese, so English is not my native language, but we all talk this European English nowadays. It's really a pleasure to be here, and dear members of the Bulgarian Parliament, dear ministers, colleagues from the Financial Supervisory Commission, and of course the rector of the university. And thank you very much for, first of all, for organizing this. In an issue that is really close to my heart, the PEPP, it is really quite fantastic to see here in Sofia the politicians, the industry, the academia, and all of us as European citizens being in a room to discuss personal pensions, to discuss the future of our sustainable pensions regime in Europe. So really congratulations for the Bulgarian colleagues for making this quite an impressive meeting. So it's really a pleasure, of course, for me. As I said, the PEPP is something close to my heart. I tried really to push this idea for a number of years. I see in the audience here also a number of faces that helped a lot in moving this process. So I'm really happy to see where we are now in the discussions. So in today's conference, I would like to just make some remarks about three main points. The first one, why do we need a PEPP? The second one, what we believe are the benefits of the PEPP, and the third, what will be EIOPA's role in the future of the PEPP. So on my first point, why do we need a PEPP? We are all aware of the fact that Europe faces a major challenge in ensuring sufficient retirement income for its citizens. The national pension systems are challenged by demographic and labour market changes, as well as by the pressure on the sustainability of national budgets. The population in the European Union is ageing due to a combination of increased longevity and low birth rates. National pension systems rely more and more on supplementary private pensions. However, traditional employment-based pension systems, which are of course very much welcomed, are not in many countries prepared to support the changing environment of the labour market and cannot cater for unemployed people, entrepreneurs, mobile workers. To find relevant solutions to the challenges that the European pensions face, one needs to appreciate seriously the different starting points of the European member states. In some member states, a market of personal pension products is nearly non-existent. Only 27% of Europeans aged between 25 and 59 years are enrolled in a personal pension product with a long-term objective. This represents an enormous potential to develop a European personal pensions market, but at the same time calls for a practical solution in providing Europeans with appropriate means to save for their retirement. Last year, after the work that we have done at EIOPA, a brave step, and I mean a brave political step, was taken by the European Commission, presenting this proposal on the PEPP. This would mean, of course, the development of a large and competitive European market for personal pensions, and this step is a key milestone, and I would say an important precondition for the next steps that we can have on developing and implementing this market. And I want to congratulate the Bulgarian presidency, because since the beginning this was taken as a key priority in your presidency, and I want also to recognize the excellent work that has been doing and really the good achievements and of really good discussions that have been coming also from the Council side on a very sensitive issue, let's be honest. Coming to my second point, what we believe are the benefits of the PEPP. A more developed market for personal pensions in the European Union will help in reaching, I would say, two major goals. One more social, another one more economic. Firstly and foremost, it will help to provide a better chance of European citizens getting an adequate pension. And this should be the central objective of these proposals. Secondly, it would stimulate more savings and channel them through long-term investments, promoting growth and contributing, of course, to the development of capital markets in Europe. At a microeconomic level, the PEPP will benefit individuals saving for their retirement and providers to have the opportunity to enter an enlarged market as well as to offer new types of products. The PEPP is designed since the beginning to be a safe, transparent and cost-effective product. And it's designed since the beginning also to be a truly long-term retirement savings product that will offer pension savers new saving opportunities for future retirement income within a European personal pension framework. With the PEPP, savers would have more choice from a wide range of providers, will have the right to switch providers both domestically and cross-border, and the PEPP will be, of course, portable between different member states. And very importantly, this means that savers will be able to continue contributing to the same pension scheme when moving to another member state. And this is very important if we really want to build a European labour market which is sufficiently flexible. Within the default option, savers will benefit from a high level of consumer protection and strong and transparent information requirements, but also they will benefit from the possibility of having this product sold through online medias. The PEPP will also encourage competition, where the providers are able to offer their products across several member states using a European Union passport to facilitate cross-border distribution. The cross-border business opportunities, together with a standardized default option, will allow achieving economies of scale to reap these cost efficiencies, to provide opportunities for new products, as well as to enable new market players to enter the market. And this element of economies of scale is fundamental. That's the benefit that we can have from the internal market. The regulated design of this personal pension product framework, in particular through its standardized elements, can also help to increase transparency and consumers' understanding. In addition, it will provide a level playing field for providers, increasing trust among consumers and cater for the changes that we have, of course, on the European labour market. In light of the current economic environment and the challenges faced by products with the long-term obligations, the design of the default investment option will, to a significant extent, determine the success of the PEPP. Let's recognize, all of us as citizens, we are not born to take decisions in front of a lot of information. We should be provided with a default option that can be sufficiently simple, safe, transparent and cost-effective. Furthermore, the much-needed conceptual link between the accumulation phase of the PEPP, the savings phase, and the decumulation phase, the phase when retirement income is received, is of course very important. At the end of the day, the most relevant outcome that really counts is that we achieve a right result of receiving adequate retirement income for the consumers. On my third point, what is EIOPA's role in the future of the PEPP. I think we have three main elements where EIOPA would be quite relevant. Firstly, in terms of the certification that the PEPP label is used by the appropriate products throughout Europe. Secondly, on ensuring the transparency for all the European citizens on the PEPPs. And thirdly, to ensure that there is high-quality, consistent supervision of the PEPP products. And these three elements are, at the end of the day, fundamental. Because we can only have trust and confidence of European citizens in a European product, in a cross-border product, if we can achieve these three elements, if we can really have an important role, of course, of transparency and of supervision. So due to the European nature of the product and the conceptually inherent requirements on standardization and portability, EIOPA as a European supervisory authority will ensure consistency and high standards for the authorization of the PEPPs. It is fundamental that every European citizen will make sure that when they have a product that is sold as a PEPP, that it fulfills the characteristics of the PEPP. This is the fundamental element of trust, and we cannot responsibly do something that will put in cause this principle. So I welcome the proposal from the European Commission that EIOPA plays a key role in enabling consistent implementation and European-wide consistent authorization requirements for the PEPPs. Furthermore, our mandate to promote supervisory convergence is of paramount importance for the trust in the PEPP. In my view, a stronger coordination through the development of supervisory plans for PEPPs is needed to support the initiative of a truly European product. And to strengthen the transparency of PEPPs towards the EU consumers, I have been proposing that we should have been mandated to publish an annual report on the PEPP supervision activities that are performed throughout Europe, to give citizens the accountability that we as institutions, public institutions, need to give them. So for us, standardized, comparable and relevant information about available PEPPs needs to be easily accessible by consumers to help them to make well-informed and conscious decisions about their plans to save for retirement. So it is fundamental that the information that is given about the PEPPs is relevant. It is fundamental that we get it right. We should not have a situation where for the PEPP we will have hundreds of pages that are given to consumers in order for them to take a decision. We need to make change in our approach. We need to give consumers standardized, consistent, comparable information that they can understand, that they can use. And of course, to give them the right to get all the other information on top of that, if they want it. So these for us are really important elements of our role as EIOPA. To finalize, ladies and gentlemen, the PEPP has a high potential to become a truly European, safe, transparent and cost-effective long-term retirement savings product that will offer pension savers an entirely new personal pension framework for saving adequate future retirement income. The potential is huge, but we also need to have a look at the reality of the third pillar and the pension savings. The scale, the competition and transparency are key factors. Let's be frank, in Europe, yet also in many other developed and developing countries, the pension funding gap is increasing, and it will be harder and harder to close it. The pensions time bomb has been on our agenda since at least 30 years. And the outlook on the sustainability of pension promises, both from state, from occupational, but also from private savings, is anything but comforting right now. The European pension sector is, of course, under pressure to address urgently its challenges and to promote sustainable pension promises. In all of this, I really believe we need more long-term thinking in political decisions, in private decisions. And these decisions need to be bold and they need to be taken now. The PEPP is not a silver bullet, and it's not the only response to this ticking time bomb. But it can be an important element, an important tool to help to close the pensions gap and to show to EU citizens that Europe can help them in building a more stable and a more sustainable retirement. The PEPP will make EU citizens closer to the European project. And this is something that is really fundamental. And so, for our own sake, for the sake of our children, and I must say, for the sake of the European project, we cannot fail. Thank you very much.